His name's Rhapsody. My name's Teak, and this is Rhaps and Teak Take a Peek. Back for another week, this time with Poker Quest, a roguelike deck builder. Smile. How are you doing, Rhapsody?
I'm doing really damned well, Smile. It's
Good.
gonna be a good time, Smile. How you going, bud? Smile.
I'm just smiling ear to ear, boss. I'm ready to click some cards in the card game.
Oh, you know, the thing that leaps out to me about Poker Quest immediately, I've very little experience, obviously. There's the high score up there in the top left. That is my attempt to vet the game. The thing that
and some
leaps out to me
parallax on the main menu, which is nice.
Do like actually, I
like
talk
that.
about this a lot in terms of design elements, separating a foreground, midground, and background. So obviously, all aboard with that. But the thing that immediately struck me, and it struck me a couple times recently, is the reinterpretation of these objects of kind of like these icons of games through different medium. So an example would be, you know, Deckbuilder Roguelike using the dice in Dicey Dungeon, right? We're re-exploring the way that a dice works, and then Circadian Dice reinventing the way that a dice can work, and still interpreting it through the avenue of a Deckbuilder Roguelike. There was a mod character for Slay the Spire, the poker player, that was also doing that in a way, forming a poker deck out of your Slay the Spire
I never
deck
played that
and
one.
Using that to translate out to damage. It was actually pretty interesting. Poker Quest here, and you know, another example would be Dice Legacy or any of these other dice games recently. Like there's a dice strategy simulation game. Super on board with the idea of that generally, but
which game is that?
Doing it with poker. Dice Legacy, I think it is.
Okay.
Dice something. It had like an open beta about a week ago.
There have been more and more DAOs going around. Yeah. Do you want to let me give the brief intro for this game to contextualize what this game is, because when I first heard Poker Quest, I was like, I have no idea what that means. To be honest, my first guess would have been that, you know, it's like it is just actually poker, except it's harder to legally play poker online, so it's like you know, I was not expecting it to be a roguelike. Okay, so here's the Steam intro for the game, short and sweet. A unique and challenging roguelike card game set in a vast world of castles, knights, wizards, and dragons. This is beautiful, and it told me nothing about what this game is. But I read further, and this is what I've not only read, but also saw. This game is a roguelike, and it has many of the roguelike elements of progressing through battles, picking up equipment. The Poker Quest part is that in this game, the randomness is represented as a deck of poker cards. So, you know, hearts and spades, aces and kings. And so always the deck that you're drawing and the cards that you're observing are familiar poker cards, but then you have to interact with them almost like Yahtzee. You know, you need to capture certain types of cards on the table in order to activate effects of your equipment. And so, okay, now I get it. Okay, so it's a roguelike card game, but we've got these poker cards to play it out. And the other thing that we know is that it is deceptively complex. That once you understand the core premise, it seems very simple, but then the first time you go, specifically the first time you enter a shop, the complexity of the game apparently massively explodes, right? So that's all I know. That's all I know, but that helped me understand a lot more. And so to get back into what you were saying, you're talking about using dice as the representation of statistics and probability, using cards, reimagining old, almost hackneyed in some kinds, tabletop formats as a centerpiece for the more expansive games that we're playing today.
And it draws a very, very specific analog to Dicey Dungeons through doing that.
Some kind of log.
Yes. Dicey Dungeons is doing the same thing, right? If we say that, you know, our deck here, it starts as just a poker deck, right? And you know what a poker deck is. It's twos to aces of all of the four different suits. And then assuming maybe a joker, really depends on the game as to whether or not they include a joker. Not typically in poker, obviously.
Sometimes you cut some of the cards, but yeah, there's 52 card pickup, right? We know the number. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's a known quantity that you are using the user's knowledge of to iterate upon in different directions, and that is what Dicey Dungeons did. You know, a die has you know 6 sides. You're actually
and you can pick up and hold it.
Yeah, and you can understand it from a different level because you can pick it up and observe it and hold it, right? And that gives
which
you
I think
the
is brilliant.
to, instead of modifying what the character has access to in terms of a deck, or sometimes you give them more cards, more dice, rather, you're modifying their equipment set that utilizes those. And that's what's happening here as well, right? You utilize the cards from your poker deck in order to activate some core abilities that you have. Same in Dicey Dungeons. It's interesting because both of those are using the knowledge that you have built in from your experience with these mythological ludic objects to expand in an interesting direction. I like it.
Well, and this is a core part, and you know, I think we probably talked about this before at some level. Did we talk about Terry Kavanagh and some of the blog around specifically Dicey Dungeons and talking about the dice as representation of probability?
I don't believe we did.
You know what? I might have talked about that only on my stream. So they're fantastic write-ups, and we should share them with people. Terry Kavanagh is the developer of Dicey Dungeons and VVV, and Super Hexagon. And really, in all genres, I mean, you can go back to that GDC talk from 6 years ago about Magic the Gathering. They talk about the same thing. Bootstrapping player knowledge by using familiar ideas, familiar tropes, familiar names, right? And that the big thing that Terry Kavanagh said about dice specifically, which I loved, was not only does it feel more tangible and intuitive when you're representing probability as a die, it also feels fairer because you cast it. And that's the weirdest thing about psychology in these games to me, is how do you align them to be not only easily understood, but also to feel empowered? You know, like you make the plays and the mistakes. Anyway, this time we should be empowered by an ace of spades. I hope.
We definitely should. If that topic particularly interests you and you want to see GDC conversations about it, input versus output randomness is the kind of thing to be looking for. You'll find a lot of talk about it. Standard PokerQuest run. Let's do a standard.
I realized halfway through that spiel that I was about to nerd snipe myself into like a 30-minute seminar before we open the game. I'm so easily nerd sniped. Really, it's why I'm able to do full streams, is because you just pull the ripcord, baby.
It's not always a negative. Sometimes it's not. There's a bullseye, you know?
Yeah.
So here we see our Knight of Spades, our base character. They have
of spades.
2 pieces of equipment. Ooh, we can see upgrade progression paths for them. We'll focus on the equipment first, though. Knight's Sword. You use up to 2 cards when you activate this card. It attacks for the sum. So this is the sum symbol. Some of the cards that are placed onto the item when activating it. Aces count for 11, all the face cards count for 10, and then plus 50% to your attack if the cards are paired. Then the shield is blocked for the sum, and plus 50 if all the cards are spades, as a cooldown of
flush. Wow. Okay.
I haven't really seen anything about the progression system here, but you can use blacksmiths to upgrade the cards to be higher versions of themselves. Good to see.
Oh, are those poker chips? The currency is a poker, of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't they be? We've also got meat on the bone and gems and lightning bolts.
Yes. So meat is, this has kind of like an FTL node system, right? So we can think of the meat as our analog for fuel. It is your ability to traverse to the next tile. Here we have energy. We start with 10 out of 20. In combat, you can spend 4 energy. So it's effectively your ability to use some out of combat, well, not out of combat, but some meta ability, like your limit break or something like that in Dicey Dungeons.
Okay.
You can spend 4 to stun an enemy, forcing them to discard all of their cards.
Got it.
And then there are gems, which is another resource, and coins, another resource. So,
okay. Yes. And are the abilities different for the rogue than they are for the knight?
Yes.
Spend 3 to steal a card. Okay, cool. I don't want to overload. I'm just this is me, like I just turn into a sponge for the first 30 minutes of a game. Yeah.
That is okay. We'll go with the classic mode. No upgrades, very hard, plus 100% experience and score. I think it will give us a more quantized experience of the characters and give us the ability to possibly jump to another character thereafter.
I liked the suits rotating. That was nice.
See, the previous best. Yeah, that's as far as I got.
We got about there. Okay. Is it a coincidence that it's all question marks after that, or is that the game being like, you don't know what this is yet?
It's possible that you don't know what this is yet. Oh, okay. Yes, no. So our vision radius is not perfect ahead of us.
Oh,
it will grow.
I like that a lot. Kind of a fog of war. You know, it's like you have perfect vision, you have path vision, and then you have no vision. That's nice.
Yep. If you give too much information of what will all happen in the future, you can end up with a level of complexity of each of your early interactions based on all of the things you want to do in the future that you end up with player paralysis. So I really like when systems do things like this.
Okay, maximize learning. So let's take some fights. I think we should just go to the top. Is that an elite? Fight that.
So there's an elite battle is the second battle up here on the top. The first battle before it is a sleepy giant. We can actually see their
you can look
set.
at the stats. That's huge.
So each turn they will draw 1 hidden card and 3 visible cards.
Oh, cute. Okay, so you have an idea what they might be able to do. 4-card flush, okay. Yeah, but they need a 4-card flush to hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, tough toenails for Sleepy Giant.
Look at the,
we'll see.
This eye here.
Yeah, just like, please release me. Awaken. Don't you think, though, we go do some fights so we feel the combat system and then we'll start engaging with events and shops and all those things?
I'll totally agree. I was going to play for the elite.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Sleepy Night is showing on board. We can also see there's an immediate summary for them here. So if the hidden card is an ace or a face card, they will have the ability to use Awaken, which will cause them to draw +2 visible. Draw +2 and causes you to draw additional cards for the rest of combat.
Oh, wow. Where do you see ace or face?
Ace or face.
Because it says any cards adding to at least 30. Yes. And it can, what is that? Does that mean it needs 3 cards to activate? Is that what the dots are?
No, so the dots are just underlining that to show you that it's a highlightable target. This is 3 uses this combat. The dots at the top. But it can use any amount of cards. The card itself will give you a limitation in the amount of cards you can put into it, like up to 2 cards, the ability over here.
Okay. And the right side is this is the giant. I'm sorry, I know this is all very elementary, Watson, but like if I take the time to put together the screen, you know, then it'll be intuitive from there. We share a deck of poker cards, and the Giants cards are on the right, and ours are on the left.
Oh, that appears to be the case. I didn't even realize we were both drawing from the central deck, but yeah, we are. There's 46 cards remaining in the deck. There's 6 cards showing on field. That adds up to 52. We're both drawing from the same resource pool. Oh, wow.
There is some actual poker information here because you can see what you've drawn and you can see what's
that's even more compelling than I thought it was.
I mean, like, if you're gonna call it Poker Quest, there needs, you know, there's but we're playing an asymmetrical game of poker. We draw 2 cards, and they right now are drawing 4, 1 hidden and 3 revealed. And there's but is that a redraw? Is it what's the shuffle symbol mean?
So that will just randomly sort the hand.
Oh, okay. So it's just.
Well, I mean, you can also sort it by card, rank, suit.
Yeah, just a way to revisualize. And because hands will grow, it seems like sometimes you draw more cards. Okay, I get it. All right. And we have paired cards, so our attack is stronger than usual, too.
Exactly. I love the idea of just throwing both of these into the Night Sword. The enemy could possibly awaken, but they can't get a 4-card flush.
10, 20. Yeah, they need a face or ace, which is fairly likely, actually. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. 5 11ths.
Wait. Oh, right. Oh, sorry. You mean for their awaken?
Yeah. They're fairly likely to awaken, especially because we revealed 2 7s, right? So, yeah.
So let's see what they get. That was a 4 that they
held,
dice. So they do nothing that turn.
So they do nothing. They just hang. Well, they're called Sleepy Giant, right? I mean, that's the play. Okay. Oh, this time they only need it. We could block this turn, actually. We
can, but they cannot flush, but they can awaken. The awaken doesn't do any damage.
Oh, I see. Okay. And Night Sword is base attack 5, so it's not affected by your cards.
Oh, no, it's
and the block is not.
I've just got both of those up. It's dynamically.
Oh, it's doing dynamic. Oh, right, because it's a Sigma thing. Okay. How is block getting to 8 then?
Because both of the cards are spades, so it's giving us
because of the 50%. So it's 5, and it's okay. Got it. And it's rounding up. Got it.
And if I wanted, to be clear, I could just play the 3 in one of these and then the 2 in another one. Or no, I can't. This needs 2 cards. So if I had 3 cards in hand, I could put 2 cards into the Shield of Spades and then 1 into the Night Sword. My limitation, my resource limitation is the cards.
And you redraw your hand every turn. You can't hold one of these cards. Okay, cool. I mean, we just bash them. You're right. They can't attack us. It's too bad, actually, that they can't attack because we actually had we had the setup for a good block. But now that they get more cards, it starts to get spoopy.
Uh-huh. And we know
like
that
they're already at 30.
We're seeing more blacks, but there is quite a likelihood that this is a black card.
Yeah.
They can hit us with a 32 attack here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 4-card flush. Yeah, they can't flush here.
Can't they? Flush is just card. Oh, same suit. Sorry.
Same suit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mistook one of them.
No, it's no sweat.
Yeah.
It is scary though once they start hitting. I mean, we've only got 110 life. And it's kind of cool how it's like once they start waking up, they're gonna keep waking up because their hand is so big. Very thematic. Very thematic. Very we're back to that kind of, I want a word for this, like a physical word for this idea of centering around something like, in this case, the poker deck, and then basically following it to its logical conclusion. How can we turn poker, multiverse of poker, into like a roguelike? You know what I mean? We get to watch this poker evolve and represent giants and all these things. Very clever.
There has to be some sort of game design term for the exploration of something through a new lens in that way. Yeah. Oh, now I want to know it.
Let me know in the comments down below. Am I a YouTuber yet?
Yeah, I mean, my man, you've been on YouTube enough to be a YouTuber through and through.
Somebody pointed out the other day, they're like, Teak, you have to quit saying you're not a YouTuber. It's disingenuous because it doesn't matter that you don't have any videos. You almost have 1,000 subscribers. It's ridiculous. No content. Oh, man. We take these. We
definitely do. We can see that we have a reasonably possible chance of getting clubbed here.
Quarter.
So, to be clear as well, sorry, not everyone is going to share our familiarity with the poker hands and poker deck itself. So I will quickly say a flush is 4 cards in this instance, because it's saying 4-card flush rather than 5-card flush.
Right.
A flush is instances of cards, all of the same suit. That is the pictorial representation under the number. So you can have the same color, but not be in the same suit. So we've got hearts and diamonds here. A flush would be 4 diamonds, 4 hearts, 4 spades,
suits,
etc.
I have a question for you for my side. There's a 10 and a 36. Is one of those the number of cards in discard? Are we playing through the whole deck?
No,
shuffled
both of
a
these
single
are
time?
the summaries of the visible cards on either side.
So we're reshuffling the deck between every round and drawing from it again.
It appears to be the case, yes.
Okay.
Deck reshuffles
so there's
every
no
round and when no cards remain, so yes.
Okay. Well, we're showing one of their diamonds, but yeah, their chance of diamond here is, I mean, we just consider it a 4th. It's just basically a 4th.
The only problem is how many, we can't really defend for a huge amount on turns.
I think you just keep attacking
anyway,
here.
So I think we have to just keep hitting them.
Yeah.
You'd
say that, we treat it like a 8 damage turn and we just continue attacking.
Okay, so they have any black card here. They are going to be able to thump us.
True. So it's now much scarier. We're going to get hit, but so are they. We
could also stun them. We have the ability to consume 4 energy to discard all of their cards this round.
You know what? I think we should do that because we're a little weak right now, and I don't want to roll in super hurt to the elite fight. I think that's quite clever. Yeah, with them at a 50% chance basically to just thump us, we need to take them down, baby. Oh, yeah, they did. They're super dead.
Oh, baby, 33 on the attack.
It feels nice to just have pocket aces.
Damn well do. Ooh, continue and buy upgrades is also an option here.
By the end of playing Poker Quest, will we not only be better at Poker Quest, but use exclusively poker jargon?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
we're going to be
talking about the pocket aces, and we're gonna
you got him with the nut flush.
Ooh,
what does that mean?
Flush.
Oh yeah, you hate to see it.
Classic menu. Whoa. Hang on. This allows you to actually. Interesting. So first, let's mention the gems. They're a currency that you spend for an in-battle benefit. You can spend a gem to draw 2 cards during your turn in combat. Should have mentioned that. Oops.
We might have wanted to do that at some point too, actually. Can you spend them out of combat ever? Or no? I thought I saw gems on the map, but maybe it meant get gems.
Yes, we just got a gem from that fight. You also get 2 energy every single time you make a move on the world map. That's the replenish force for that. But here we can see upgrades determines how many items you can bring into battle. We don't really have that being relevant to us at the moment, only holding 2 items and having a max of 3. Number of cards drawn per round can just be increased.
Wow, that's super stonks. Okay.
World's map sight range, so give you more information about the
Yeah.
future. And then gem draw, how many you draw each time you spend a gem.
This is interesting. You know, this surprised me. I like buying another card draw right now, by the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally, right before the Elite. When we played Dream Quest, I was surprised by how much more RPG the level up system was. You know, it's like, here are all these stats and you can just choose, versus the much more like, you know, constrained, not in a bad way, but, you know, kind of simplified system of here are relics and the relics do things, versus you may put points into stats. Yep. And so it's kind of, this is kind of in the middle. It's like we're choosing stats. It's just there's not that many of them, but we do get to choose. It's cool.
Let's roll into our Elite fight.
You see a bloop. What a cutie.
They have one hidden card, one hidden card, 2 visible cards, and Corrosive Dupe, 1 card of rank 10 or higher. It attacks for 18 and it's reusable. It can be used any number of times in the same turn.
Yikes. This is a very hard-hitting enemy. Oh, you hidden events?
Teak, what have we seen?
You notice a hidden cave. Hidden cave. You see 2 enemies in the cave. Fight both of them. You will receive 7 poker chips and 2 gems. Yeah, get them.
Is it time to thwack?
We're thwacking. Very early thwack. Cave blob. That is a frightening manifestation, except that it's kind of smiling and waving, I think. Yeah, is that you, Flubber?
It looks cute at the bottom. At the top, it reminds me of, you know, entering the depths for the first time in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, we don't want this. Yeah, no, I agree.
2 spades or 2 clubs both have the result of poison 13.
Yikes.
Poison causes the opponent to become poisoned. You lose equal to the poison stack life at the beginning at the start of your turn, and then the poison stack is reduced by 1/3 with a minimum reduction.
Interesting.
Of 1.
I like that. I like that mechanic. But we have 3 cards now, so we're way more badass than we were. No pair in this hand, but big damage if we want it. It sounds like blocking. Can you block poison?
I don't imagine you would be able to, because it occurs at the beginning of your turn.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and the block is just for damage this turn, so there's no sense in blocking. We simply attack.
From all sources for 1 turn. This includes damage dealt at the start of the next turn. Never mind, I was wrong.
Wow, okay. Then in that case, well, okay, so they're not going to be able to play. I thought there were 2 cave blobs.
We might be fighting one enemy after one another. I don't know if there are multiple enemies in the same fight. Ever.
I see. 2 clubs, 2 spades. So it has a 50% chance of hitting one of those 2 things. So why don't we just do an ace and a 10 to attack and put the 9 into a block?
Because the block.
Oh no, the block has to be.
We could
maybe
go for a draw and try and find either an ace, a 9, or a 10 to up our attack, and then use the other 2 for defense.
I like that. We're getting gems from this. I like that. Okay. Either way, we just get to do a lot more damage here, right? Like, yeah. Yep, and you get to give it the bonus. That's gonna be a full block, easy. Poison 6 around, down to 9 though. Very cool.
Oh, we can't use the shield this turn though.
Oh yikes! And we already know that they're getting at least 1 poison off. There's a quarter chance of the other. A little less than a quarter actually, because we're holding 2 spades here. So we just assume that it's 1, but we're about to be at 22 poison, which is a lot of damage, man. It's kind of spoopy. It's interesting that we can't shield every turn, so it really encourages a pretty aggressive line.
It has to, right? From the 2 different fights that we've had so far, both of them have required that we race the enemy at a certain point.
Yeah. We need to use health as a resource. Surely we don't use more gems or stun tokens, right? Like, surely we just go.
They had both up there.
They had both. Wow, that was very unlikely. That was a Stonk's hand. Wow. Okay.
Do we maybe attack for 10 and then defend for 10?
I don't mind that, because they'll certainly die next turn if we do that. They'll certainly die next turn. And they're sitting right now on... There's a chance that they can't increase our poison at all.
That is also true, but we've got to defend against at least some amount of the...
Yeah. And in fact, let me think. We're drawing 3 cards.
It's reshuffled every turn, so we have no biasing from our previous hands. Which is good, I think that would be too much complexity, frankly.
Even on a bad... Right, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, 11.
Yeah, so your reflection point is like 6.5.
And even if you have the low side of the bell curve. Yeah, actually, no, a really bad hand because you can't put all 3 into the knight's sword, right? So we just can't play around that. I'm trying to decide if we can attack for 3. It's basically what I was trying to decide, but I don't think you can. Because we have to win this turn. And yeah, good thing we didn't. Good thing we didn't, because there's that low roll, 5s and 6s. And smart.
There it was. Ooh, a perfect kill. A kill that does exactly enough damage to reduce the enemy to 0 life.
Oh. Nice. Okay.
Is score a meta resource, or is it just like end of game?
I literally think it's just arcade points, right?
And a track. Well, we got
Jim
nothing
draw.
from that just yet because we've got another enemy we have to fight.
A troll! Okay. Wow, it shows 7 cards. Excuse me.
Ow.
And but it hits for very small numbers, but it's going to do it frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And it can heal itself with pairs. Okay. But so this is like a fight that we can actually block sometimes.
This turn it's representing 15 damage. Which we can just block and then deal 10 ourselves.
We could. I think that's pretty good.
Nice.
The regen is only on pairs.
Yeah, I wonder, like, in that instance, because it wasn't going to be able to deal damage, it didn't seem to prioritize regenerating over
I hope it does here, right? Because if it... Oh, well, no, the attack number is not affected by the value chosen, but they have a pair of aces, which would be 6 damage, and I suspect they'll heal with it, which means that this turn will only be 9, which is not atrocious, right? Yeah.
And we get
either way,
33.
We're hitting for 33. Yeah. Yeah. The knight knows what the knight knows.
I don't think we can use any more energy. We've still got the elite fight up next.
I agree. We're going to get some resource back, but
they care more about anything else than healing.
We're injured bad. They just went for the full aggression. What up with that?
I wonder if they have like a rule of you activate the left as many times as you can, move on to the next, move on to the next. Or is
so it only regenerates with small pairs? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's possible.
Here we see some more upgrades.
So we don't have items to use in these item slots, is what you're saying.
Not just yet, no.
But so maybe this is gem draw. I actually don't mind that upgrade, right? Just to make sure that we can use our meta resources to have a strong chance in this elite fight.
And we haven't
seeing
got a
where
shot
the map
for
is
a
cool.
while after that, so.
But we don't have choices anyway, right? Like we're stuck on this north path for a while. So.
Get him.
Yeah. I like buying the gym draw there. That felt good.
To be clear as well,
I agree.
Food. You automatically eat 1 food every step on the world map. You may eat 1 food to gain 10 health. You can't eat during combat, but if you run out of food, you'll lose 10 health and 2 energy every time you move.
I think we should eat 1 here because we're getting 2 from this goop, and we're getting 1, and like we're gonna stay neutral for a bit.
Definitely agree.
All right. 1 card, rank 10 or higher, attack 18, reusable, and we're looking at 2 already, and it's got that just slightly shy of half of the time for the other. So is this a stun round?
Is it?
Or are we going to try to use a block? Because if we want to block, maybe we draw with Jim.
So we could get a larger attack out as well?
So 2 reasons. It's to get a larger attack. Yeah, because we want to be able to use the full 4 cards if we're going to attack and block. And if we think that we're going to use, this is kind of how I'm thinking about it too, right? If we think that we're going to use at least 1 draw turn and at least 1 stun turn, then we'd rather stun on the turn where we don't block. And we'd rather block when we're going to take damage, right? Yep. So my head was just kind of like, simply draw. We've got 2 spades right now. Let's get that 2nd card for the attack. And then next turn, if we're really lucky, we kill. And if we're less lucky, we can stun.
Yep. I like it. Very few of our hands will have the ability to defend as high as a block 27. So it feels like even though the enemy is representing a lot of damage on the field, we throw away this, and then what if we draw another hand that doesn't have the ability to defend, and they draw the same hand?
Yeah.
Do what you can when you can. So I like doing that. Let's do the draw first, just in case it gives more information.
Nice.
That's relevant. Not really, unfortunately.
Not really. But we did gain 10 damage on the attack, which does matter.
One hell of a lot.
Because now we can't get a single turn kill here, but if we high roll, we can get a 2-turn kill. Did they get all 3? You know, it's a good thing we blocked for 27 then.
No kidding. They're not representing any damage on board at the moment. We could just
maybe that's not a stun then.
19.
Exactly. Simply hit them for damage. They will get us once here. It's going to be 18. Wow! Unlucky! I don't mind.
Yeah, we
I
don't
hope they get unlucky more often.
Do you want to try it?
I think so, right? I think so. We're going to need some healing, though.
Oh, they missed.
Wow, baby, we win. Hey, you know what? It's poker, and sometimes you just got to roll high. We rolled high. Tough round 1, but otherwise we rolled really high.
Yeah, no kidding, right? That was 18
and we're on
3
12.
times, so 52.
So we can get even more upgrades. We probably need to, man. With no shops, like we took the only fights path. Yeah, we need to do. Oh. That's right. I forgot that we can upgrade our items.
Yes, but it appears we can only do that at a blacksmith, so we'll have to visit someone to be able to do that.
So what else can we upgrade at this point?
I mean, we do have the ability to upgrade our item slots without any more items. Doesn't make too much sense.
Yeah.
Well, map, we don't really have any choice of where we go.
The gem draw is cool if we think we're frequently going to use that. I mean, it does.
Gem draw is nice. However, I worry that this is a resource that is going to be asked for by other things as well as the store.
I agree. I think I'm like, I talked to Rhaps about this before. I've been consuming a lot of Rhapsody's Storybook Brawl content, very consumable on youtube.tv.rhapsody. And I really like this tension between the now and the later game. It's honestly one of the main draws in a lot of the games that I play. In roguelites and competitive games, it's the value on the board versus investment. And I think that the fear that is being expressed through my mouthpiece without saying so directly is that we have 30 health and we've not been able to visit any shops. And so it's like, I will take any upgrade that I think increases the chance that we don't die to an angry bull, because this is truly, we are on a high variance path. You know, it's like, my fear is that literally any of these fights can kill us right now based on what I've seen in the easy pool. And so that's why after every fight, I'm like, are one of those 4 upgrades suddenly like damage? Can we suddenly turn one of those 4 upgrades into just block sometimes? Can I get a relic, you know?
Yep.
You might want to eat.
Yeah, exactly. I think we should definitely eat right now. Thankfully, the Angry Bull is going to show all of the cards that they draw. They've got no card cost for charge, but it unlocks
really nice
after a inserted card whose sum of ranks reach N. So put 100 worth into it, it'll ultimately work. Cards being inserted across multiple turns. When it activates, it will deal 54 damage and then lock again.
Wow, yikes. Okay, so it sits and paws the ground and then it charges us. And I'm assuming that those inserted cards are basically exiled, so we won't see them redrawn. It's very interesting.
Afterwards, for the rest of combat, the item can be activated, cards can be inserted across multiple turns. Yeah, I don't know. I did eat, but we'll go in.
For 40 is good, I think, because we can block. We could block a 54 if we had to. Ideally, we don't have to. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool to see, like, will all 3 of those cards go in? And if so, are they about to be at 23? And then the ace of hearts and the 6s of clubs and diamonds will be gone. We'll look at the total cards in deck after this turn. Be cool to see.
I mean, do we care about anything except for the like turns of flux, like whether or not the enemy is doing anything? Like, do we want to try and generate more damage this turn on an 8? I don't think so.
I think we literally just hit for the 12 and call it a turn, yeah.
Okay, so
it did take them all.
46 and 52. So it just contributed towards it, and then deck was reshuffled.
Okay. Interesting. It inserted the rank, not the card. Cool.
16.
Well, we have
That's a pretty low roll. Nice. Unfortunately, this pair is 12 damage rather than 11 damage from the other pair.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It feels cool. 61. Hey, double aces, baby. All right, I think we're going to outpace this bull.
Yeah.
We could still get unlucky from here, but perhaps we won't. Block 35.
We're all good.
Ooh, baby.
Get 'em.
All right. GG.
GG.
Super glad that we got an extra card draw. That was a huge. That was absolutely money. Absolutely money upgrade on the flop there. You know, even before the turn, just totally. Yeah.
Let's get to 4 cards.
Fully committed. I think so.
So not only will that give us the ability to, without a gem draw, be able to activate both pieces of equipment to the maximum each turn, but also we can see our path right now is actually taking us to another elite battle before we get to make another choice.
Horrifying. We are simply on the most aggressive path that anyone has ever taken through Poker Quest.
Glutton.
Eat. That is spooky what it's doing there with its mouth space.
Ooh, wait a second. If it can unlock burst somehow, you gain 4. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Eat can only be used 2 times each combat, and it's probably going to go left to right, right? It's going to try and... Yeah, exactly, sorry. It's going to try and do the leftmost one if the maximum from the previous one holds. It'll do that 2 times, eating 4 of ours, and then it'll attack for 23 and die, and give us all of it back. So we just need to live through this.
And can we block for 23? And the answer is frequently yes. Especially now that we're drawing like this. Or at least pretty close to, right? At least pretty close to. So in that case, I mean, we still attack it because maybe we can just kill it, you know, but we're going to want to get our food back. We are going to want it to burst. Oh, but maybe we can kill it before it activates a single time.
So 2 aces is 22 is 33. So we can't do it this turn. Honestly, we actually might get it before it does a single time.
We're going to get there.
This is 14.
Yeah. We're going to get there. Just probabilistically, we'll get there. There it is.
Yeah.
Bingo, baby. You love to see it. Absolutely the deadest frog.
Perfect.
Save all of our food. Wonder if there's a way to cheese that and get the 4, like, you know, like deactivate enemy attack kind of situation.
The only one that I can immediately think of with the tools that I'm aware of in this game is going into the fight with 0 food. They can't steal food you don't have, but they can give you food that you...
Yep. That's a clever way to get extra frog meat out of the frog. All right.
Next lead battle, I think. Want to tell us what
the
it does?
Graven Chef. I would love to tell you what it does. What it does is it holds a live chicken. It's got Stumble, Flee, and Cleaver. Okay. And also it appears that this enemy draws 4 cards a turn, 1 of which is hidden. Stumble can only be used 5 times. It says activation costs 2 hearts. Hero gains, that's us, 1 food, reusable, 5 uses per combat. But we can't use the food during the combat.
Oh,
but
their
this means
ability is reusable.
Yeah. So they could multiple times give us a food. We could gain 5 food during this, which is actually positive. So that's cool. They also have Flee, 3 red cards. And this is curious because they've got a 2 hearts and a 3 red cards. It says run away, still drop combat rewards. Okay, so 2 of the things for this elite are not necessarily bad, except there's also Cleaver, 2 diamonds, attack for 11, and it's piercing. Can't block it. Okay. So that's the gambit, is that we might actually come out of this with rewards and extra food, but anytime we get attacked, there's no blocking it, which means we should eat. Let's at least be able to take 4 hits. I feel like that's a good place to be.
That would be really nice. Assuming that the left to right triggers occur, which it's looking more and more like that's the case due to the way that these things laid out.
I agree.
If they draw
stumble, flee.
If they draw 2 hearts, obviously they're going to be activating Stumble. Past that point, if they draw enough hearts or enough diamonds as well, they will flee.
Likely to flee, yeah.
If they draw enough red cards... So if they draw 2 diamonds and a heart, are they going to immediately trigger flee?
Right. I would think yes. It doesn't look like they're locked, right? You know, it's like... So, but that would be the specific case. It would have to be mostly diamonds, because if they have the 2 hearts, they're going to prefer to stumble. So there's 2 diamonds and a heart.
So
oh
are
no,
they gonna
no, but they
flee
won't.
immediately?
Look. That's why Cleaver is 2 diamonds. They will not flee. Oh, if
but
it's left to right, they will. Geez. Okay, well, you know, just thwack them. Nothing else to do, and see what happens. 8/8, Knight's Sword. Give them the business. Can't block it anyway.
I'm so keen. Also, we're being told, like, use your gems because we're getting +2 after this combat, but obviously don't need to use it this turn. We'll just see what
Doesn't do
happens.
anything, yeah. We should have used more before, I guess.
Yeah, they fled.
Straight to flee. Yeah. Turn 1, no food, but you do get your rewards. I mean, that's fine. We didn't take damage. Exactly. I would have liked more food. Okay, so increasingly the evidence compiles to suggest that the enemy AI is as simple as left to right resolve.
Yes. That gives you, like, it means that you can kind of understand a lot about the pace of the battle before you even go into it, right? You're effectively getting the intent system as well as the ordering of the enemy's intent system.
Yep. And notably, that fight, that was a very unlikely outcome because look at the prioritization mechanism in that fight. If they had 2 hearts, that would go off first. And so they had to have specifically 2 diamonds or more. But then that means that the Cleaver is weird. The Cleaver was only going off if they had no hearts.
So the way that would trigger is if they triggered feeding us 5 times, and then they had the diamonds go through to the end before they draw another heart. I don't know how many times they will actually trigger Cleaver. Is it only a 2-diamond hand that ever really makes it there? Is that fight usually beneficial to you?
Two diamonds and 2 hearts would be a case where they would be able to do it, or just 2 diamonds but no hearts.
Yes, because the expenditure on the first case would actually make sure they don't trigger the second. Got it.
Yep.
But they were drawing. Weren't they drawing?
So yeah, you're not getting cleaved much for an elite fight. That elite is mostly going to be beneficial. Yeah. Ogres.
Ogre. With 4 revealed cards, 2 hidden cards, 4 cards of rank 10 or higher will smash for 30. 3 cards of rank 10 or higher will smash for 15.
Cool. Aggressive. Lots of card draw. 6 freaking cards. Yep. And we don't get to know here, but we're already looking at 2 queens, and statistically, probabilistically, one of those remaining cards is rank 10 or higher. We simply should expect that one of them is a face, which means probably we're getting hit for 15.
Yep. We can throw a 15 attack against the enemies and then defend
and block for 17. I think that's
we also
the play.
will get gems after this fight, so probably next turn we'll want to pop a draw.
Yeah. Only trouble with shielding here, maybe we don't want to because we think that probabilistically we get clubbed. Well, are we going to stun in this fight?
I mean, we may as well. We've been banking up a lot of energy. That is one thing. So we've been taking damage in these fights. We've been using our health resource, but there are these other resources we need to use a little more as well in the gems and the energy.
Because we're not going to get smashed here very often. Yeah, we should block this turn, get clubbed, or don't.
Don't even get clubbed.
And then
ooh, we might not even get clubbed
stun.
This turn. Like, that's...
Wow. No, yeah, we just go. We just go here. They did hit us. Very rude. I don't like when they hit us for the damage. So this looks like a reasonable turn to do if we are going to stun. But we can also block on this turn. Do we want to draw on this turn?
I think we probably draw on this turn because...
I like that.
Yeah, if we block at least 6, we survive to smash. Smash is unlikely. Club is quite likely here, though.
And I think we're going to do much better than that. Yeah. Okay. And it's what, double spades? Oh, and unfortunately we've only got the 1. So, but we can block for 20, which is quite nice. No pairs in this hand. Look at that. 8, 9, 10, king, ace, 3, 5. I mean,
we should block for the maximum amount that we have. Yeah. Okay. So it was just in case club was the only thing they could do, in which case I get to save another 10 for something else. But
no sweat. Yeah, I like blocking for 20 here. It's a nice split the difference. Like we fully block club, we work on smash, and we can still do 20 damage. Nice.
Ooh, they're already representing club, but they could easily smash. This is our stun turn, I think.
This is the stun turn. I agree. Let's freaking go, baby. Why is this so compelling?
Real tutus.
It's such a simple little thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is how it's being explained to me relatively consistently. Why is this so compelling? But it is.
But I feel like that's like the storied tale of our experience together, right? We get about 15 to 30 minutes into almost any game we play. And it's like, is it possible that it's not really a question of whether or not the game is good, but simply a question of whether or not we want it to be good? Because I've noticed that it's very rare for us to sit down in front of a gaming experience and not have a blast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how much of it is just expectation and attitude? Not all of it, because I've played games that are bad. Like bad games exist. They're real. They're not. It's not a farce.
They definitely do, and the mindset you bring into it definitely modifies your experience with it. I would definitely say, but I think even that mindset can't overcome some things. For example, I don't think I would be speaking out of turn to say that people broadly noticed that Rise of Slime didn't end with a gigantic this is excellent, great, you love it,
just wasn't
jump out
done.
And buy it. However, I think so, or rather, I think that wouldn't have the ability to overcome. And that's a good instance of it not being able to, but it does leave you open to seeing the things that the game is doing intentionally. It is
because they still had a
like
blast.
a pure heart rule on behalf of the designer. Like, I'm assuming that you're doing all of these with intention and with a design goal in mind, and my job is to try and figure out what that is.
Exactly what we want people to do when they watch us is to assume that we know something about what we're doing and to look for the good plays. We assume that the designer has a compelling idea, and we look for it. And we found it in every game we've played.
Mm-hmm.
But increasingly,
it's just a generous thing to
maybe
do,
we just get really good suggestions, dog. Like maybe we just play good games. Is it possible that the games are just good?
Another thank you to Rito for putting this one on my radar.
Gosh, he's good. He's really good.
What a good guy. I'm just going to link his channel in the description as well down below. Click that and sub to that as well, bud.
Okay, so what is this daze? Oh, it's a fountain of life. Okay.
Fountain of Life versus a cave. This is also Castle of Hearts, which I'm assuming is probably going to be a boss battle of some kind, given its size.
Presumably the cave is like the hidden cave. In other words, there's going to be some fights in there. Some number of fights, but we get a large reward.
Mm-hmm.
So should we just take another card draw right now? And get some life and go fight a boss? Like, I kind of feel like maybe yes, but I'm worried about early shop next act.
I too worry about that a little bit, but I don't imagine either of these is just definitely going to immediately be a shop. So if we go here, and assuming it's some resources, we might be able to roll into a shop with something.
And we might get resources from the boss too, right? I'm kind of about having so many cards drawn and getting some life back and then smashing this boss into bits. World 1-9. I like the Super Mario like numbering.
Mm-hmm. Very classic. I'm also gonna pop it because it feels necessary.
Oh yeah, I like the eager eating. Yo, Castle Shop, Rhapsody. We've been played.
Oh no.
Welcome to the shop. Ah!
Teak. Oh no.
We've been played so hard. I thought it was just a boss fight. Nobody told me it was a fully featured castle.
Me too, bud.
Well, you know, this is what roguelikes are like. This is how it be. Sometimes. No matter how much you wish it bean't. So maybe we'll go get...
We can try stuff away.
Oh, baby. We do need food, actually. Our food resources are kind of low. But I also noticed, was there a fight there? Was there a dungeon?
Yes, I clicked over that just in case it immediately took us into a battle. I don't assume it definitely will.
But also, look, we get to leave the area. It seems like we can go in and out of all this stuff. So it's very much like take as much or as little of the interactions as you want. It's kind of like an Omni node, you know, to even out the rest. Mm-hmm. Let's fight stuff.
It's got optionality.
But they're going to be powerful, right? So we need to do other things first, maybe. Okay, I see.
Very powerful. Pay the dwarf 1 gold for 3 gems, or pay them 2 gold to increase your gem limit by 3.
Whoa, that's pretty sweet.
Temple, pay 5 for enhanced queens. You can only do this once. Queens have 5 added, Queens have 5 added to their card value when used in items to calculate damage or effects.
Whoa, they're
you may
15,
only
okay.
enhance or empower 1 card value or suit. For each altar you desecrate afterwards, your enhancement improves by 3.
I see. So we would be queens. I see. I kind of like that. But we need money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The flea market does give us the ability to sell 9 of our energy for 10 money, which seems like a nice thing to do, but we might want to do that after a fight.
Yeah, let's go to the dungeon and like I think we're strong enough. Let's go to the dungeon and be eager with, using our meta resources, and then we'll do some trades. Maybe buy a triple fire. We draw so many freaking cards.
We could buy the triple fire with 9 energy, giving us 10 coins, giving us the triple fire before we go into the fight if we think it's powerful enough. So
flame.
What is inflame?
May I?
Yes.
Inflame in total number sum of cards put in target items. And I think it said takes 3 or takes up to 3. 3 cards. Okay. And then inflame says causes target items to become inflamed. Activating an inflamed item removes inflame and incurs in damage before the item's effects activate. Inflame decays by 25% per turn. So you're basically buffing one of your other items.
Mm-hmm.
It does have some decay, but the cool part about this is right now our sword is limited to value produced by 2 cards. We can get 3 extra cards of value into our sword this way.
I don't think that's what that does. Inflame causes target items to become inflamed.
Oh, you think it's for the enemy's items?
Yes, I think we're blocking their items from usage until they take the damage that we're heating their weapons.
See, okay, so when I was looking at the picture, something about the way that this is, my immediate assumption was like, oh yeah, you inflame your own weapons, make them dangerous. But you're right, the wording does seem like you make it to where you take damage when you use the item. Which I would expect then the pommel to be on fire and not the sword.
Yeah, no kidding,
but that's
right?
less cool looking.
Also, like the kind of like.
I feel like at this point we have to buy it just to see if that's the case. We simply have to know if that's actually how it works. It's a lot of stun, but it's gonna be the play, I believe. 50% off, baby. Equip that bad boy.
All right.
Love to see it.
Let's go to the dungeon.
To the dungeons. And we're going to get 4 gems. We should be drawing.
Should we chomp before we do that?
I think we're okay. I don't know if we're going to heal between acts, though. But I feel like we're okay. Demonic Egg. An elite. 165 life. It's got a claw. It needs a pair, but it attacks for 17. It's reusable. Right now, it's only drawing 3 cards, but it also has a lock 65. Draw plus 10. 1 use per combat. So it's going to like put in, and then hatch. And it's going to draw 13 cards. And any of those pairs will result in 17 damage. Most turns, this enemy's not going to do anything. I mean, it's, like...
Until it hatches.
In the beginning.
And then it's going to claw us a bunch of times each turn. Because that's 10 draw every turn.
Oh, that's permanent?
Yeah.
That doesn't say draw.
Draw is increased.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, we should kill this. 65 is not a massive number. It's really not that big, right?
Do we want to
4 turns.
Fish for...
4 turns is the expectation.
Do we want to fish for doubles for the Night Sword or like 3 of a kinds for the triple fire? Just pop a gem.
We should definitely pop a gem here, yeah. Because we're gonna get 4. And so what's the deal with triple fire? Let's just try to activate it with 3 cards.
So it'll do 150% extra if the cards are 3 of a kind. Unfortunately,
which is ridiculous.
2 kings.
Yeah, 3 of a kind is a lot.
It is
a lot to ask. We could probably... Will it let us draw again? Not that I want to necessarily, but you can just keep gemming. Ain't nobody stopping you. Keep drawing through the deck. Wow, that's kind of cool. Okay. I think that we should just try to put 3 cards into Inflame and see what the options even are. Keep the kings for the Night Sword, maybe. Just put the 3 highest other cards. You like it? Okay. Choose an item, and it points at the enemies. And so I guess we would put the lock, but it's going to be on activate?
Yes. So if they rolled a 10 or a 4, they'll actually activate the claw and put less into the hatch. The inflame does decay by 25% turn over turn, though.
Mm-hmm.
So
but it's turn over turn. So actually, I kind of like the claw because it only is on activation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it says? Which means that the hatch would only happen one time anyway. Whereas we can keep inflaming the claw turn over turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not activating the hatch when they're investing.
Yes.
It only activates once. Yeah. When it starts trying to claw, it's going to die about it.
Excellent phrasing.
You shouldn't claw. Nice, just in case it did swing there. Smart. And we get to triple fire every turn. The cooldown on the shield is kind of brutal. I wonder if we can upgrade that out.
A wee bit. I feel like this is a really unimpactful hand without a gem. We can use 2 gems in each of our 2 fights here and we'll be back up.
Let's do it again. And just getting another good inflame on this thing too is like, it's really not, it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, 30 damage again, and then 965. Simply be strong.
Love going for the auto sword there.
Yeah, that was nice.
20 on that lock still.
Lock.
33 damage, baby. Actually, this is basically
it's just a
max
good
damage.
hand. Yeah. And they can hatch here if they have an ace. But we had 2 aces. So unlikely. It's all diamonds. Dang.
Even if they hatch, they're not really going to do anything this turn?
They're going to draw 10 cards and they're going to claw. But they'll die about it.
The next turn.
Oh, okay. Then we just play and win.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right about that.
Do we block here, actually, instead of triple fire?
Well, because this is going to decay and they might not activate it this turn.
I think that they die.
They didn't.
Like, if they were to activate the claw, would the damage even land?
No, it activates before they do anything, so they're going to die like this turn.
They would have, as we say, die about it. That's awesome. Okay, nice. Inflame is cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a counter to the multi-activation, which has been a thorn in our side.
So I don't know, because after they activate the equipment, it will disappear. They'll just take the instance of damage.
Oh, it's a single. Okay. You know what? That makes sense. It would be OP otherwise, right? If like the troll just had to sit there and hit itself for 50 every time. Yeah. Be just like the strongest strat. So Knight of Embers. Okay, Dark Souls.
So it needs 3 cards of rank 9 or higher to block for 24.
Oh, block.
And then it's got the Sword of Flames for 4 red cards as well. So if one of these is red and then another one, a distinct one, is above 9, they'll have the ability to activate both of them.
But we are looking at a lot of face cards in their hand and ours. Okay, but it can do both. And inflame a random enemy item. For how much? Inflame 4. 4. Okay. I mean, but does that meaningfully change our strat? Like, it looks like they're going to be blocking after we do damage for the next turn.
Yes. But it comes down to whether or not we think that we need to block it all. Is it more likely the Sword of Flames is also going to activate this turn? Like, do we want to put 18 into block on the Shield of Spades there?
So they do have a 75% chance here to hit us with the Sword of Flames. It's definitely worth trying to block, which means maybe that makes this our gem turn. So that we can block and inflame, right?
75 inflame. Take 75 damage if you do anything, nerd, ever.
And we know that they're able to shield. So do we put that on the shield?
Well, they have to activate. Shield is always going to activate.
Yeah, because it's on the left.
Turn.
You're right. We think that that's how it works. So that's how it's been working.
And then
my pattern-seeking human tendency is too powerful to deny. I simply must seek the pattern. This is like when you're in philosophy, and they're like, have you ever considered that all of our understanding of the world is inductive, and you're like, and they're like, you've seen the sun rays every day, but you haven't seen infinite data points. What if it doesn't? It's like, wow.
There was an interview.
But it's kind of weird though, right? Because is that even really useful? Like, you can't not think inductively of it. Your observed experience always has to be inductive. You can't undo that.
Yeah.
You can't like suddenly be deductive about the sun. That's all you've got.
There was an interview with a physicist, one of those kind of like Michio Kaku, kind of like Lawrence Krauss, like well-known, well-interviewed physicists.
Yeah.
And there was at some point in the conversation, they said something like, I could wake up tomorrow and be completely comprised of diamond. I'm almost certain that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you for certain it won't.
Right.
But you can't plan around tomorrow,
Right.
like, I'm going to go buy a bunch of diamond wax because tomorrow I'm waking up diamonds, because you'll be disappointed 95 times out of 10.
Right. Yeah.
All of these remaining cards in hand have to be red for them to be able to do anything this turn.
Wow, they're just going to block. Just simply get them.
Simply never stop getting them.
You know, just get them and don't not get them. It's fascinating, right?
Oh,
statisticians not.
No,
oh, did they really?
One of the cards that was hidden could be a 9 or above of black, and then they could substitute that into the shield. Right, because it's okay. So the shield does not. Yes, it doesn't have to just rely on what you already have in hand. That was a mistake I made there.
I didn't think about it that way. It's because we were busy talking about inductive reasoning about the world, but it's because the poker cards made me think so hard. Look at all those spades, dog. Can we just win though?
So if these would have both be red cards of lower than 9 for them to be able to attack this turn.
Yeah, because it's likely that they're about to activate shield and nothing else. So let's just smash that shield. Let's simply. Oh, they inflamed our inflame card. That's cute.
How dare they?
Yeah, so we might want to block actually before we play it.
Yeah, we can put 2 weak cards into the Shield of Spade before we do it.
Right, and then just beefy everything. Yeah, I feel like the philosopher is like, maybe we wake up and we are made of diamond, and the statistician is like, stop.
That's never happened to me. It won't happen.
It's like you have too many data points to even consider that outcome. You know, it's like it is well beyond reasonable cause.
3 cards of rank 9 or higher. So they're representing 3 hearts that are rank high or 3 reds that are rank high or 9 or higher rather.
At least 1 red that isn't. And so if they can show, oh, but this is interesting, right? Like they can't do both. Because the 4 to do both needs all cards, right? That would need all 7 cards, and the 4 is too small, so this can only shield.
Yes. Oh my god, that is the perfect simplification of this, right? They have the ability to activate both of them with 7 cards in hand, if they have mutual exclusivity in the cards that are activated in each of those. So anything that is a black card of 8 or lower guarantees they can only activate one thing that turn.
It's the Knight of Embers after all.
It's an excellent takeaway.
Got to be hot.
So wait.
I think that this game will afford us a lot of those moments, by the way. I definitely feel it's an aha kind of game. You're going to look at a lot of poker hands and you're going to be like, is this going to make us better at Hold'em? Probably.
They will do.
It's definitely going to give us a nut flush. That's for sure.
Do we need to defend it all this time?
Like, they just die, right? They can't hit us.
Well, they've got the block 24.
Yeah. Oh, from the previous turn. Yeah. But we'll kill them next turn. Yeah, so this hand they're totally hosed. They can like do nothing. They might actually activate Sword of Flames. They might. And so make that kill them. Smart. Nice. Simply do nothing. And as long as the Sword of Flames isn't flamed, they could never hurt us. That's my favorite fight so far. I feel like we had a lot of breakthroughs there, actually. I feel like I get the game more now.
The fact that you were able to simplify from the amount of cards they were drawing in the item set and the order that it was going, just some rules about what was possible and what wasn't possible based on these contingent factors, to me, is a demonstration of the intention that was put into the design of that encounter.
Yep. And the themes keep adding up. You know, it's like the bull sits and paws the ground before charging, and the chef is like stumbling and dropping food. It's like, and you see it, the poker, it just all matches. Very cohesive. We've talked about cohesion before.
The glutton is consuming food and then suddenly regurgitating food.
Or becoming it, perhaps. Popping.
So true. So we
caught.
have the ability to just buy some food here. So
what's this?
Usables.
Must be equipped. Consumable.
Items with a number on the top right corner are considered consumable. They can only be used that number of times, after which you need to refill them. You can refill them at campsites.
And this is the reason to gain item slots, is not just like consistently usable items, but consumables. If you're going to use some more consumables, you'll need more item slots. So that makes sense. Does Invulnerable do what I think it does?
You take no damage for the next 10 turns. Yep.
I guess that's why it costs 10. That's a ghost in a jar, baby. 2 of them.
It's a refillable ghost in a jar as well.
It's kind of wild. I think that to not get overwhelmed, because this is definitely one of those places to where on some days I would sit here for an hour and pour through all of these options, and every single one of those times I would acknowledge readily that it's probably not the right way to do your first run, right? Like ultimately there's such diminishing returns before we experience more of the game. We didn't even know the castle had these options until a minute ago, right? And so my inclination is just like top to bottom, we need more food. The FTL system is 10. Keep it in the double digits and you'll never run out. And I feel like this game is feeling kind of similar. We want badly to upgrade our sword and our basic items, maybe.
I don't think the blacksmith is here. So I think that's a different
so we can't do that. And the other thing we really wanted to do was take this enhancement. And so if we can get 2 more poker chips to do that, I think that that's a pretty good way to be.
So this is the same trade I made, but in the other direction. So it's not lossy in terms of our conversion, but we would go down to 8 food in order to be able to do that.
I feel okay about 8 food. 10 was like a high bar,
Okay.
It seemed like we were getting food from every 2 to 3 fights. It's as long as you're taking fights, you're getting food. It feels like food will be more of a problem if you're taking a lot of events.
Let's do it.
So now our queens are worth 15. I feel good about that, Like, was it optimal? How the hell could we know? We're 50 hours short.
Exactly. There's a fair while ahead of us before we figure that kind of thing out. But for the moment, we can figure out whether we're going to this elite fight or the normal battle instead.
You know how I feel.
Go all the elites all the time.
Click on that crown, baby.
I really want to go to this mine as well. So just to check out what a new space is.
We've got 10 gems. We're maxed out on gems. We can easily use at least 2. Okay. Knight of Hearts.
With 2 hearts, they'll strike us. With 1 heart, they'll shield. They could get 3 hearts on the same turn and do both.
And they've got 3 cards exactly. 38 damage attack. Cool.
No hearts demonstrated on
the
field.
best they've got is a block. So I do like a draw on this turn to just set up really aggressively.
Yes.
But I wonder, like, what are we gonna? We're just gonna use it to get 2 turns of really good triple fires in a row. Honestly, that's not bad.
Yeah, triple fire with the plus 150% as well, because plus 50% is the base upgrade for pairs on the others. This is much harder to reach, but obviously the effect is so much larger.
Yeah. Pair of 8s to attack, and then queen 10, 6, and flame.
Guess it's the best we can do, yeah.
Seems like a play. Block for no reason. No, we shouldn't block, actually, because it has a cooldown.
Couldn't even use that turn.
No, once again, they can at best shield. I think it's kind of cool that I kind of appreciate that even the elites can just have a bad fight. That feels true to the spirit of poker. which is that, like, it is ultimately OG card games have this very high variance to them, right? And throughout the game, we're getting more and more items and consumables and effects to kind of minimize that and to be able to bail out. But the enemies lack that so far. They don't get to use gems. It's okay. Okay, so we're getting hit. All right.
Definitely. And they may not activate the shield, so they're not going down this turn. We've already used our second turn's worth of draw. It might be a stun.
I don't mind it. For an elite, I don't mind it at all. And we're getting these back from traversing the map. Feels pretty good. It definitely makes me think, like I'm crunching those numbers now, and it makes me think, were we intended to put some of the Inflame on the strike for future turns, right? But I don't think...
Yeah.
Because, and there's also a sense of, like, you want to trap the weapon that hurts you. We're trapping the shield, but the only thing that can actually hurt us is the strike. Nice. And that's why we were trapping the shield, is it was more likely activable, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. But it's worth noting, exactly as you were pointing out at the time, if they activate the shield, like, we don't care. So, like, we should put it on the thing that we care for it to trigger before they activate.
Right, because we could just sit there and slowly hit them, and then, Yeah.
Totally agreed. We're only on 8 chips here. Let's check out this
mine.
Pay the dwarf 1 for 3, or...
Oh, it's this thing again.
2 to increase your limit. Okay, so it's, it's just a...
I want to increase the limit. I wish that we had enough poker chips to have increased the limit in the castle. Because the draw is, I mean, that's absolutely the nut flush. There's no doubt in my mind.
Through and through. Ooh,
I wish I knew what that
meant.
meant.
Blacksmith.
But I'm sure that it's good. Okay. Well, we should go to a shop.
Well,
no, let's go low, because then we get the full branching path.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same brain. No, I get you. A cockatrice. Okay.
What does a cockatrice do?
5 cards. 1 hidden. It has Stone Gaze. 4 cards, rank 6 or lower. All right. This stuns us, but it does have a cooldown. And then it has Claw. It needs a 3-card flush, and that makes it attack for 20. Okay, but it's got 5 cards, and Stone Gaze requires 4 cards, and Claw requires 3. So it's mutually exclusive. We cannot see both. Cool. I'm about this fight. I like it. 4 poker chips if we beat it up. If we lose, then I guess the reward is a new run.
Entirely possibly.
Ah, that's our enhanced queen. Hell yeah, baby.
Ah, yes, you are right.
Yeah. We aren't getting any gems from this fight, right? It's just poker chips.
Just poker chips.
And their cards are too high, so they can't Stone Gaze, and they cannot produce a flush. No, they could with a spade. Quarter chance. To hit for 20. So do we just go ahead and use a gem then to keep the variance low, since our health is so small? Draw. I think so, right? And then maybe we can do more damage, and kings, and we put ace queen into triple fire, or maybe we go ace king. We don't need to ace king block, surely. They've only got a quarter chance.
Yeah, no, I don't think we need
just treat it like it's 5 or 10 damage and block as well as we can. Maybe inflame the claw then, though, for as much as possible.
Yeah, more than happy to do that.
I'm definitely, by the way, don't let me dominate. I'm talking a lot because I want to contribute my thoughts eagerly with this game, since I'm not the one clicking on it, and because it's all kings, queens, aces, sevens. If I'm not saying it, it just kind of.
No, it's all good. It is absolutely all good. I'm like locked in. I'm kind of in the zone. So
good.
The thing that we're running into here is they are definitely going to activate the claw this turn. They have no way of activating Stone Gaze instead. So we stun. We can't really defend. So either we take 20 damage or we stun. So I think we stun.
Or we cause them to die.
Oh, can we cause them to end dead in this turn? 32 on the inflame.
Not quite.
Up to 57. So we would have to do 30 damage with the Night Sword.
Yeah.
So we can't.
Yeah. It was possible, but we don't have the draw. I like the stun again. Definitely makes me wonder, I hadn't thought about this at the time, but given that it was only a quarter chance of doing damage last turn, maybe it was correct to not block. I didn't think about the cooldown at all. I just thought about the draw,
Yep. Ooh.
And now if they attack us, I mean, as long as we do enough damage here, and that's 9/9, then we're flushing them.
Mm-hmm. Stone Gaze is guaranteed to go off this turn.
So,
we inflame
we have to do the math. Right? So 20, we inflame that, and then the other reduces by a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
29,
so it goes
14,
down
5,
to
725.
It usually tells you what it decays to. Like it says, like below it decays to, but I guess that only says it on us.
Anyway, we more than kill here if we put this one on the Stone Gaze.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy will die to their own claw next turn, or else they will simply do nothing, in which case we're fine. You gonna do it? You gonna claw me?
Coward.
Nope. You should have used the claw.
Give him the claw.
4 poker chips. You cannot resist the claw. The claw has chosen. Is that an undifferentiated node? Is that just a nothing node?
Nothing.
The cost of... Wow, literally nothing. The cost of options is... Yeah.
This fight gives us 2 food. We're running low on that. And then
it does, and it gets us 2.
Into an elite as
more
well.
crowns. That's right. And you know what I think about that? Ooh. This is like the most... We've had in this entire run, outside of a castle, a single non-fight square. We have only... Oh, and then the poker chip the one time. But like, it's been
There was
fights.
a second one that I automatically activated just because it was a choice between 2 poker chips that were both the same value.
We're either taking poker chips or poker chips, yeah. Mm-hmm. Billy Goat's Gruff. What do they do?
They have a headbutt that is unlocked on 30, which attacks for 30 and then relocks for 30. They reveal and unreveal a card.
It's like a smaller phase bull. It's very similar to the bull mechanics. Oh, they got the poker chip in its mouth. That's so real, dude. I have family who live in New Mexico, and at some point in time they're twins, and at some point in time when they were growing up, they were doing what's called Future Farmers of America. And so they had all sorts of, ranch animals, various animals. And one thing that they had was goats. And I was visiting them one time, and they said, "Hey, do you want to help us take the goats on a walk?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of funny. Sure, let's take some goats on a walk. Leash up these goats and take them out." Mm-hmm. Holy crap. I almost cannot capture this experience. The goats were like not walking, okay? It was at least a mall walk. It was more like a jog, a brisk jog. Mm-hmm. And as they were going, and they're pulling you, okay? As they were going, they were from side to side at rapid speed, reaching down with their head and just pulling up whole clumps of ground, earth and all, and just swallowing them. No chew. It was like running a manual rototiller, okay, with legs and an attitude. I mean, it's totally crazy. Like, goats eat, but until you've walked a goat and seen them just rip up earth and soil, just go fully scorched earth as they try to like make the lap back, I've never seen anything. Even my Labrador cannot eat as aggressively as the goats did. They're on another plane.
I always think of grazing as a kind of calm activity.
Yep. Not for the goats. Not on the walk. The walk was it was high energy. All right. Let's beat up this goat. Let's beat up this goat to prevent them from what they want to do to the earth. To save the planet from this goat's terror.
So this seems like a really kind of like a special low roll hand for us. There's not a huge amount we get out of it.
And we're getting some gems back, right? Or is it only food?
We are not getting any gems for this combat, no.
I think that we should draw anyway, though, because if we put a big inflame down, we might just prevent any damage in this fight without having to use more stuns, which would be really nice. 9776543. We're allergic to face cards, actually. I get hives. You wouldn't want to see me on face cards.
It seems like this is going to be a stun battle, I think. Yeah, they're going to unlock. Well, they can unlock this turn.
They can't unlock. We're fine. We just attack and inflame again. Huh?
Can't they unlock it this turn?
Oh, crap. I was reading the inflamed number because I'm a dummy. And I was like, they can't get to 15 with a 2. They can totally get to 9. But actually, there's a fair chance they won't. And a fair chance they will.
While true, how with the elite after this, it feels like we have to plan constantly around the worst case scenario here.
Yeah. So a few considerations. I would be really eager to use Jim here if we were showing any spades. And something that's a little tough is because we could theoretically just block this 30, right? And so if we're drawing, we really are expecting to be able to block for the queens are enhanced, right? But we're expecting to block for maybe 20, take 10, which honestly is fine. And maybe that's the play. Maybe we'd rather use one gem than 4 stun tokens. But certainly it could be a reasonable stun turn too. We can't guarantee a full block is the big thing. And in fact, it's quite unlikely.
So stunning is also going to give the enemy a turn more decay on that inflame.
Yeah.
It's not like a huge difference, but it's there.
And maybe blocking for 20 and taking 10 is fine, right? We do have some health resource.
I think we'll go with that.
Pop a gem. Pop. Nice. Damn. There's a queen. We can block for 25 if we wanted to be really aggressive.
Could definitely do. Unfortunately, it doesn't have its doubling anything. Yeah, let's take the 25 block. And then we have the ability to send out just like instantaneous 20 damage and then stock 11 more into the
And if they
inflame.
don't activate this turn, there's a fair chance we'll just kill them next turn, including the inflame damage, right?
Almost just
it's nice that the
straight up
inflame
cancel.
can stack. I just don't want this.
There's their activation. Thankfully, we only take 5 damage that turn. That locked to a full 30 again, which means they can't do it for a bunch of time. We've got.
Which means
we're running.
We win. Yeah. We run these jewels fast. We could just press. Well, we can't just press intern because it decays. I almost got really cheeky. Whew. Boom. Feels good.
Don't it just?
Man, we hemorrhaged for the first like 3 fights, but then we've been pretty steady state since then. Actually, I do feel that we were probably underusing stuns and draws in the early game.
Yeah, because I just straight up hadn't introduced them. My bad.
Not your fault at all. I mean, we didn't cap out for a while actually, but then we did cap out for a little bit. Ooh. Angry Stallion. An elite here draws 5 cards a turn with 1 hidden and says any cards adding to at least 40 causes it to attack for 37. It's a simple beast. The only thing it does is punch us in the face. But it will try to do so frequently and for 37, which makes me wonder, do we eat 1 time?
Yeah, do we? Do we ever?
But do we see food coming up, right? This is where the map vision would be good. If we go down to 4, we can still survive to the castle. But is it a castle? It's a boss battle.
That's the boss battle, so that seems like it's the end of this individual instanced run. It is 5 spaces away of movement, so the food will be consumed each space. Unless we get
4.
Food.
Oh,
1,
we're going
2,
to
3, 4, 5.
I see. I thought we were already in the elite. I didn't understand that we were. No, that's just me not understanding.
There's a thing trailing off the back of that one there. It
Yeah, there
continues
totally
past this,
is.
I think.
Maybe this is only Act 1.
Yeah. Maybe we should just play for success of Act 1, like guarantee the success here, take our food.
Well,
we might limp. But...
yeah, take it. Yeah, I say like don't heal. I agree. We've got stuns. We'll be okay. We've got blocks, we've got stuns. And sometimes we'll be looking at the cards and it's like impossible. Like here, 5, 10, 16, they literally cannot stomp. They simply can't.
They cannot stomp, but that is 2 enhanced queens for 45 damage in a single
45
attack.
freaking damage, baby.
There is a part of
Wait. Wants to draw and inflame with it?
Yeah.
You know it. You know you want to click on that draw gem. You know you do. Okay, well. It wasn't particularly likely.
Damn it.
You're a monster. We gotta beat a boss. Well, it's okay.
We got it! Woo! I knew it the whole time. It was gonna pay off the whole time.
They can't even stop this turn. It's so much decay.
It's gonna decay constantly. That's our flex. I was in too
You
deep.
know what? You were in too deep, and you were trying to keep up above in my head. Instead, I'm going under. They can't attack this turn either.
Exactly.
So, I guess we simply live our life, gym free. This enemy they've perished so many turns ago.
They don't even know how bad they have this.
You know, they call this stallion angry, but so far it just seems like they're a little annoyed. I mean, I haven't seen any signs of what I would call anger.
This is
certainly no rage.
Stallion.
Yeah, at most.
Too short on that roll. They have the ability to activate it this time.
I think that I'm not even sure that they're peeved. At this point, I suspect that this stallion is more like jaded, maybe. This is a disenfranchised stallion.
Stallion with ennui just doesn't roll off the tongue as an elite name, but I think it can easily take it.
Actually, it was a translation error. Angry stallion?
Niche.
Hit me!
Love it. Yeah, please
hit me!
Attack us.
Please hit me! I feel... or give me back the gems.
Yeah, you're making me feel bad about the whole gem play, which was obviously strategically sound. Save the unluck we've had here.
Listen, we play for a very, very specific outcome always, which
and that
is
was
joy
the
percent.
outcome, which is exactly how much damage they took to that inflame right there.
Joy percent. Achieved. Is this a burglar? It sure is, but they're bungling. Okay, so we see runaway again. Hey, repeat cards. What a bungler. They can run away just like the chef. Cards adding to 31 though. It's a different activation.
Exactly 31 as well.
So exactly 31. And then thievery, no card cost. Attack 5, steal 1 poker chip. Draw +1 divisible and stumble. Oh, are they going to give us poker chip? Whoa, baby. What a funky fight.
Any cards adding to at least 31. There's no card cost on thievery, so they are going to steal and give us back cards every turn because there's no card cost on thievery. They can't trigger runaway until they have enough draw visibility, and then they're going to trigger stumble as well.
Well, it is called a bungling burglar, so it seems like it takes a very specific outcome to steal and not give back, but it is possible. Oh, hold up. They only draw 1 card?
They'll increase that with their thievery. But
at
the moment, yup.
Right. Okay. Curious. So
definitely got 5 damage coming in every turn.
I think we just eat it. I think we just eat the 5 damage this turn, right? And just... Well, they can only do it once a turn, so yeah, you start blocking immediately. Because I'm thinking, like, don't we want to just triple fire a Night Sword? Just start aggressing?
We do, but, like, these add up to 5 damage on the Night Sword or 5 block. And it feels like the 5
right. I see what you're saying. Yeah, and then just focus on triple firing the thievery. Okay, I like that play. If 5 block is better than 5 damage here, I agree. I hadn't really thought about the respective value of those things, right?
Any cards adding to at least 10. So he's going to activate the stumble again here.
It'll thievery. Oh, wait. No card cost.
Yeah, so it just guarantees costs that every turn.
It is, which means that it did both last turn.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't understand that. I thought that it still needed a card, but it literally means it just happens. Yeah. Okay. And so now it will stumble. Okay. And then after a few turns of thievery, they'll try to, run away. Got it. You probably shouldn't pickpocket the same target multiple times. I mean, they are a bungling burglar.
Yeah, you lose the ability to do it after. Like, you'll get a negative modifier to your stealth as you crouch up behind them if they've seen you do it one time.
But if you can put a basket over their head, it cannot be detected. It's just too strong. Physics. I agree. I like this nice aggro path. I mean, just eat our 5 damage. En flame. They'll stumbo again. Although we're getting close to the kill line. We're approaching it. Probably another turn where we block, right?
Yeah, exactly.
3 and a 6, and then just do the other 3 onto triple fire.
Totally agreed.
Feeling danky and swanky.
Ooh, that's not exactly 31. They're starting to get up there, though.
Did we win yet? No, not quite. Do we need to draw? We could, you know what we could do here, actually, is stun one time.
Yeah.
We're at 17, right? It feels silly. Like, what are we? We're saving 5 life, but...
Oh, we stunned them. They're going to thievery, and they're not going to do anything else. Because they have no card costs. Stunning them just makes them discard all their cards.
It doesn't stop them from using actions. Okay, so this is going to sound strange to people who haven't watched me for a million hours, but I'm actually more glad that we stun now. Because I hadn't considered the interaction. Now I've always thought of it as effectively blocking actions, but it's just blocking cards. Makes sense. Do we lose a poker chip about it? Yeah.
Yep.
Am I still glad? Yeah, I'm still glad.
It's more knowledge. And
you happy now?
Win, you see? Ow. Up. That'll do it, though.
Knowledge percent. So, don't stun burglars.
Ideally,
it's just not worth it.
That actually might be exactly what that's trying to demonstrate, though. Don't stun them to try and prevent them from running away, because they will still do that, and they'll still take money from you.
Yep.
Making it like a fight that is paced around trying to be faster than them.
Right. Do we want to buy? We have 31 poker chips right now. Let's buy some things.
We do indeed. So we can go for number of cards drawn. World's map sight range, I'm not still feeling that great about. We don't have anything for the items.
Like, I understand the value having looked at this map now when we were like, oh, where's the food? But I'm still thinking so short term, you know? I just want to see us through this first boss. What makes us beat the boss?
Exactly.
Cards. Drawing freaking cards.
Totally agreed.
It's the boss gem.
So wait a second. This path is 3 and then 5. This is 5 and then 3 or 5 and then 5. We have the ability to get 8 more. So any of these paths will get us enough to buy one more card drawn per turn before the boss.
Yeah, I like that. And then we can actually activate all 3 things without using a gem.
Yes, because the sword will take up to 2 cards. Wait, no, we'll have.
Well, what is our card draw right now?
Oh, well, yeah, because we're on 6 right now, so it goes to 7. So a 2, a 2, and a 3. Yeah, no, you're right.
2, 4,
full activation.
7.
Do we want to go one less battle, or do we?
I think we do want to go one less battle here. I think we do. If one of those battles was giving us food, I would feel better. But we are on 23, right?
That's a matter. Whoa. They draw 1 hidden card per turn. Overheat, any cards adding to at least 33. They will lose 20. Do they lose or do? I'm assuming they lose 25.
They lose. Yeah.
And
Overheat.
they also reduce their draw by 3.
Wow. Okay. Because it's going to be related to fuel. They're going to be. Yep.
So they've also the Rusty Tool if they generate cards up to 20, but not 30. So less than 30, but at least 20 will give us the poison. Other than that, at the end of the turn, they activate fuel for draw +1 visible. So
every turn fuel.
Yes.
Every turn fuel, and then Rusty Tool, and then Overheat. Okay, cool. Dude, I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so good. And why hadn't anybody thought to do this? Maybe they had. And that's the thing. I mean, I looked at the Steam recently released a couple days ago, and it's crazy. You just scroll down, and you're like, wow. There's like 6 games coming out every day, and freaking a 4th of them look really good. So maybe someone has done this, but I had not seen this yet. I'd not seen someone use poker cards in this way, and I think it's really clever.
Yeah, okay. I've seen things, as I mentioned, like Poker Player, like that were kind of like adjacent to this, but not as far in the direction of Dicey Dungeons, which I also mentioned at the start, in terms of like you are using your poker deck to reimagine the way that the Deckbuilder roguelike works, because it is your deck, but your abilities are not tied to your cards. They're tied to this meta item.
Yep.
Okay, so this turn, they obviously can only fuel.
Just do the best we can, right? I think, and maybe, you know, we're not getting a multiplier on either of our attack functions, so it doesn't really matter which one does which. We just put the fuel into the fire,
well, so.
or the fire into the fuel. I feel like putting triple fire on fuel should cause an additional effect. I'm thinking like Divinity Original Sin here. Like,
we're
lighting your fuel on fire. Give me a little bonus. Give me some gravy.
They take that
Guaranteed
damage.
activations are very good for our triple fire, but notably, it's last in the line. Which means that if we think we're about to Rusty Tool, and we might be able to kill, which we can't, but like if we were in position to kill,
right?
See what I'm saying?
Right. You want to put it on the activation of the Rusty Tool so it happens before they actually apply the poison.
Yep.
Although the poison
Otherwise,
does
you just
damage
always
to
put it
us
on
at
fuel.
the start of the next turn. So I think if that was a damage
True.
card,
So that actually still works out fine. It's only overheat that we're really concerned with. And that can't happen until next turn, and that would be triple aces, which is not going to happen.
So about 50-ish, just under 50% of the time, they're going to give us the 12 poison this turn.
Yep.
Which is a lot of our health to be...
It is. We are going to get some gems back, too. We could totally stun this turn. And they'll still activate fuel, as we learned, which means we can still inflame them.
Let's do that.
This time, we the winner, baby.
They wouldn't have done it. They revealed a 9, but still good.
That's okay. We played into our, we played into the stats, as it were.
Oh,
baby. They literally cannot Rusty Tool. We simply perform victory upon them. And now they die if they use overheat, too.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, right,
What?
they can't Rusty Tool this turn. Okay, go. Sorry, I thought you meant they can't Rusty Tool as in if they activate that, they will die. But I was like, no, I don't have the damage for it. What?
No, they literally just can't do the thing.
Get him.
Nope.
Nice.
That
That gives us our extra card drawn.
Dude, I'm so excited for a boss. 349, huh?
Sergeant Toad.
Ribbit. 3 seen, 2 unseen. 3 black cards for block 47. 4 red cards for attack 51. This enemy is simple. They either hit you for a big number or block for a big number. Never both, sometimes neither. Let's get them. Hey, you know what we have? A lot of stun.
We definitely
and a lot of draw. So they're on their way to sorting. And on turns where they want to sword, like, unless we can block for 50, we should just stun them. I mean, we could do that.
We don't even live with the biggest block we can do. 24, 23, 47, against 51.
And then what? Are we going to start stacking Inflame on swords? Dude, we're going to have to stun a lot, bro.
It has to be, right?
Yeah. We just start stacking
these are where the gems and the energy really come into their own, I feel.
We are showing a lot of spades. We could just draw here. We might be able to block for, like, imagine if we drew a queen of spades. We can live and block.
But what if we don't?
Then we still just do better damage because we don't have any pairs shown and we don't have a triple, right? So I like a draw. There's a queen. It's not the queen we wanted, but so we still can't block enough. So we still stun, but we do better damage this way. So it's okay.
Okay.
Got pair 9s, queen 10-8 on the sword. It's good.
Yeah, they had an ace hidden, so that was going to be the sword that turn.
You don't want to fall on it.
Double 9 from that damage, and then... Oh, no, but the double 9 with the pair makes more sense. It's just this is also going to decay because we don't know when the enemy is next actually going to land a hit.
But this is, we learned this in a previous fight, right? It's like, Inflame, aside from situations where obviously like something's activating every turn and you can maximize damage output, Inflame the sword. So they cannot sword us. Yeah. And we can hit them for Lorge. And also inflame them for In Charge, which is pretty good.
Mean, they're almost certainly going to shield this turn.
They're gonna shield. Yeah.
Well, they could draw two reds and then not shield.
Oh, you're suggesting maybe we inflame the shield here to reduce the amount of I like it, and plus we get to see Did they take the damage before the block comes online? I think yes. But we'll test that. Also. We should definitely test it. That science is worth any loss.
They reveal, they do it, they took the damage, and then they have the block relevant this turn.
Yep. And we know they're blocking this turn, which means no sword. Man, getting through that 47 is hard. I guess we're stacking up in flame. Stacking up in flame and then waiting for them to not be able to block. Maybe getting another stun at that point. That's got to be the line, right? That's all we got. Maximize triple fire and call it a strat.
Do we put this on sword? Because they're not taking any damage to this turn.
I think so, because as long as they're shielding,
might as well attack them. No reason not to, but that's their 47.
I guess they would have taken. You're saying if we put it on shield again, the block fades. They use the shield. They take the damage because it did look like the block faded.
So we had the ability. Oh yeah, that is. When is the timer for their block fading? Actually?
I saw it go down before they used it again. So there was a period where it was gone. So it looks like we can actually do shield. Right here though, it's not likely, but it's possible. It's what 50.
Yes.
50.
Sergeant Toad's block expired.
Nice
then they
combat log.
The shield. Then they increased it. I really like combat logs like this as well because they mean you have the ability. Like it is effectively just your trace, right, for your program that isn't working well. As soon as you're like, oh, that was an unintuitive result. Let's have a look through the trace. Oh, okay.
So I have a proposal.
Yeah. Ooh,
it's draw.
Yes.
There it is, baby. You ready to flame up?
Flameo, hot man.
So do we put it on the sword or do we put it on the shield? Because this
question,
turn,
right?
it's 50-50. Like, in other words, 50% chance of sword, 50, and then there is a chance of shield. Wait, this is weird because there's a chance of neither, right?
Yeah.
Which is 50% of the time it's neither. So no, that doesn't make any sense. No, it's 25% chance for sword. I'm dumb. The 50% chance here is that they do nothing, and then it's 1 quarter, right?
So they can draw two blacks.
I was being silly.
And then use the
which
shield.
will happen a quarter of the time.
They can draw 2 reds and cast the
quarter of the
sword.
Time.
And then the rest of the time, a red and a black or a black and a red. The other 50% of the possibilities, they do nothing.
Yep. And so my thinking is we can play around the attack if we put King 7 into the shield, right? Because 50%, is that enough? 17. Oh, we might have had to use a queen for that. 17 plus 8. We saw it rounded up, didn't it? So it's actually going to be plus 9. 26. Oh, so it's just shy. This is curious. Yeah. Damn. If we can get to 30, then we can afford to let them attack. Which we could do, but then we would deny that massive inflame.
Well, I mean, it denies the massive inflame. And unfortunately, like, the alternative is 2 queens into a knight sword for 45 damage, which actually does nothing this turn, unless they then activate the inflame. But we already know the inflame goes in a different order, so it actually doesn't really do anything. So
we're kind of getting locked out by that shield.
Yes. I think these have to be a triple fire. I think, like,
I agree.
Not many opportunities are going to give us half of their remaining health bar in a single turn. I think that any other face cards of the suit being drawn, so if we happen to get the, well, not that ace is a face card, but if we got the ace or the jack or the 10, we would have the ability to get our 30 block. I'm happy to use the gem.
Is it worth doing that rather than going for the stun, or do we want to just stun now to also create an opportunity to do damage next turn? If we're stunning, we're using a stun for a quarter chance that we get hit. That's the weird part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, what is the out with the gem? Like, it's 2 cards, 3 cards in deck?
Right. We're trying to get another face of spades, and they might even be there. Yeah. So maybe it is just a stun, and we set up triple fire on the sword again. Since that's the end game. And then that gives us an opening to do damage next turn. These freaking blocks, man.
They wouldn't have done anything that turn, as it turns out, but we had to plan around it because it was a loss condition otherwise.
Yeah. It's almost not even like. I almost wish it wouldn't reveal what they were, but I mean they reveal it by nothing happening, right? Because otherwise they would have done something. Oh, did we not? We did inflame there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big ol' inflame.
Nice.
So they can't attack this turn. They can block though. They've got no block on themselves this turn, so this is a turn for some good aggression for us. Maybe this is our draw turn. Upper offense.
And try to push damage. Look for a pair. I like that. It's fairly likely actually. Yeah, pair of 10s, and then we have a pretty big inflame here too. On shield, right? Just to push the damage.
Yeah, because most of the time that'll happen this turn. No need to block or anything like that. That happens. We've got the damage under it. Still can't activate the sword this turn, so we can try and do basically the exact same thing. We've still no pairs in hand. Does the same logic hold? Do we still go for another draw?
I'm kind of feeling like you were saying this earlier, and I'm kind of feeling like at this point in the run, my objective is no longer to win the whole thing. It's it's like lie, cheat, and steal to get through this boss. Because there's like mini worlds where we fail to kill this boss. And so I'm willing to push these resources down to 0 to get through this toad. I like a draw.
All aboard.
Chew freaking chew.
Take our 21 where it's available. Our 35 on, again, same reasoning as the previous turn. Shield is activated, they take it.
Here's that 25% chance again. Will you or won't you swart us?
Will you or won't you? Nothing. They would have done nothing, as it turns out.
So I guess it's just Ace King 10 onto that inflame, right? Like, it's all we've got. Try to get them close to that place to where when they finally do attack, they simply die about it.
Yep.
Simply die about it. No chance of attacking. So we're back where we were. One more draw. You got to draw, I think. We've got to do it because we can't stun again. That's why, baby. That feels good.
I almost feel bad about increasing that inflame at the moment. Well, actually, we do the same black card play we made previously. Oh! They avoided it that time.
That's fine. Because now we put that on the sword. And we win.
Yes.
Ooh! Hit me! Hit me! Take a swing! Just keep maxing out the sword. You know we have to win like that.
Yeah. I mean, they're locked out of the game if we just keep inflating this.
Yeah, they literally cannot win.
If you ever play, you have to go home instantly.
Do not pass. Go. Hit me. Do it. I know what you fear. It's combat. It's a pacifist toad all along. They claim to be a sergeant, but they're a sergeant of tea time. It's like, what is your army? Oh, well, it's mostly
my chamomile.
Tell me about your troops. Yes, Sergeant Toad. Well.
You're
GG, Rhaps.
GG.
Dude, what a game, man.
There is the whole second act here. We're at about our 2-hour limit, and this is an excellent peak. But I need to know what this campsite does.
We got to go to the campsite, but then we have to stop. We can't. This happened to us in Wildermyth. And then we finished the whole act.
Exactly.
I mean, the game is really good. This might end up being one of our best timed episodes ever, which is kind of incredible.
This
and also deeply difficult.
If this ends around now, it is going to leave me with the feeling of, oh man, wish there was just
what am I going to do after?
More, which I think is exactly where you want to leave.
Yep, exactly. To where it's just, you want some more. So go to this campsite. Wait, what does it say? 15% of your maximum life. Oh, okay. Hunt for food.
So restore 15%
we gotta go to world 2.
Fulfill a consumable and hunt for food if you need to. If you have campsite abilities, you may use those.
Plus, what if there's new music?
So spend energy for food.
Can we do them all?
Yeah, that is you may only do this once, you may only do this once. It's saying you may only do this once to all of them, so I'm assuming, like, yeah. Great, so they don't lock you out. Like, this game...
I'm not gonna lock you out.
Sometimes you don't know whether you select an option and it'll be like, congratulations, that is the only option you're going to be able to select. Especially in the castle, I was a little intimidated that I was going to click, visit the shop, and it was going to go, nothing else for you, bud.
That's it. You get many choices, but you really only get one. Yeah. No consumables to refill.
Hell yeah.
GG.
What's this blacksmith look like? Upgrade one of it for standard upgrade cost. Yeah, there you go.
Let's upgrade to the sword.
Boom. Don't think we had the money for that, unfortunately. Upgrade +3 for... Okay, so it costs a little additional if you're doing more upgrades there. That's it. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue clicking.
But you will after, like, I mean... Where are you going? After the show, there's an after party, is the suggestion.
And after the after party is the hotel lobby.
Right, that's right. Everything starts to, it's the upside down.
What is that?
We don't go back to Ignition. This is the remix to the remix to the remix.
Yeah. No, I recall. It's an earworm that works its way in there from time to time. Hey, Teak.
Hey, Rhaps. You think we got the nut flush?
I think we might have gotten the nut flush a couple times there. We got the triple queen for the 117 in flame on an enemy target from enhanced queens on the triple fire, having 3 of a kind to give 100.
And you could just hear Freddie Mercury wailing when you did it. It's the killer queens, baby. Dynamite.
I hear that in my head the vast majority of the time. So
just always
to differentiate when it's an external source or an internal source.
Is it because of the game going well, or is this just the default state? Are we?
I mean, like,
is this a standard operating procedure?
My man, there's a reason that Rhapsody was part of my vocabulary when I was choosing my
That's right. Handle. You told me that at some point. I had forgotten. Yeah.
There's a bunch of different reasons behind that one, but hey, this was PokerQuest.
It was.
I
really like that one.
I really do as well. I'm
enchanted.
Like
enchanted is the word.
Enchanted fits. It feels like it's currently in my mind sitting in the logical medium space between Dicey Dungeons, Dream Quest, and Circadian Dice. Yeah. I'm glad that triangulation seemed to.
No, I agree. And it's a lot of factors, right? It's like it's the art style, it's the central theming, it's the RPG style level ups. It really is at the confluence of those games. And then also my, nightly Texas Hold'em with Bevsies. It's kind of it's really precious. It's really precious, and it's nice to be able to say it's really precious about a game in which we took like 80 damage in our first 3 fights.
Yeah,
because the game came in swinging right away. I mean, it was like, hey, you want to take a bunch of fights with no upgrades? Nice.
Yeah, you want to go to the elite in the second space? We'll see how that goes for you. It went relatively well, frankly.
Honestly, it did. We were able to take that power and roll with it.
Exactly. Man, I feel like I'm going to verge on the edge of babble should I continue trying to talk about the game, because there are thoughts.
They need to sleep. We need to sleep on them, and then we need to ferment them, and then we need to bottle them, and then we need to age them, and then we also have to finish this run. There's a lot we need to do.
And at the very least, some part of it is going to be transitioning to the outro to say that just before I get to the rest of the outro, I'm going to link in the description down below. I know I already said I'm going to link Rito's channel there. Rito's also doing a daily series on PokerQuest at the moment. I'm going to link the playlist for that in the description down below as well.
Hell yeah.
It is in the unfortunate realm of the games that I'm most interested in on Rito's channel are also the ones I can't watch, because if I do, I spoil them for myself as well.
Yep. And you want to experience that novelty and that initial,
Exactly. So I can heartily recommend it, because I can heartily recommend Rito broadly. That's going to be linked in the description down below, as well as the Steam store page for this PokerQuest. You to be able to wishlist it yourself, write a review if you end up playing it, those kinds of things. Especially for games of this size, wishlists and reviews are very important to Steam's system. So there is a reason that anytime you start playing a game in beta or something like that for a really promising new indie game, they're always asking for wish lists, and that's because that determines front place rating and ranking for people, which determines basically the trajectory of your entire game span on Steam. So if that's the kind of thing that strikes you, those options are also available there. Down in the description below, you can also find all of the links to my lovely compatriot here, Sneaky Teak. Thank you for flying all the way over to Australia, despite I was about
more
to say,
than welcome.
Thank you for flying over to Australia, and despite breaking lockdown laws, but that joke sucks. So thank you for engaging in this pocket dimension creation with me when neither of
our
us
personal
is...
netherworld.
Exactly.
Yes. Nothing exists here other than us and games. And that's a delightful place to be. And Junior probably, like, you know, somebody's got to watch Junior.
Not to be too bittersweet about the lockdown mention that just occurred, but I would love to pat a dog. It has been too long, and the other day I was just thinking about it, just because there's a dog park nearby.
I'll send some pictures. There's some good. Our dog is getting more cuddly, especially when, like, we've got some contractors doing work right now, and so when the routine gets busted up, he becomes more like. He usually doesn't really want to be pet, but when the routine gets busted up, he'll walk up to you and just like lean in and lay down and be like, "Please make contact with me. I need the reassurance." It's really sweet. That is super sweet.
One of the only Reddits I'm still subscribed to, subreddits rather, is r/pet the damn dog. And my life is just filled with that kind of video consistently. For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. His name has been Teak. This has been Rhaps and Teak. Take a peek at PokerQuest. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see y'all next time.
Cheers.